Hi guys, I don't know if you watched the previous video, but I got two computers from the local junk shop today. Yeah, it's a bit of an Aladdin's cave, that place. I've only just found it. So we had a couple of computers there which I thought were interesting to use on the channel. The other one was a Pentium 4478 with AGP, and we got that one working, fixed the problems with it. That's worth about £50 in parts second hand on eBay in the UK. £50 is about €60, so that's, you know, €40 profit. And this is the other machine. So this is actually newer. This is socket 775, which I don't tend to buy, but it has a graphics card in. I don't know what it is. It's a complete machine. It's over €20, and to be quite honest, I'm trying to humour the guy because he's now got my number, and I'm hoping he's going to find more stuff. And he says he'll just WhatsApp me with the photos of anything he finds, yeah. And I'm hoping they're all going to be €20 as well. Anyway, first thing I noticed with this, I don't know if you can see it well on the camera. You probably can't, but the graphics card isn't sitting into the socket properly. It's like at least halfway out of the socket, and I can't. I thought I couldn't get it to sit in, but now actually it does sit in. Now, I was going to say I might have to take the board out, but give it a little bit of a shove, and it's now sitting in place. So, because this is a complete machine, I think what we'll do with this one is we'll check for shorts on the 12 volts. For sure, it's been powered up on this power supply before, but I'll connect a light bulb in series just to make sure the power supply is okay and it doesn't go bang. We'll check for shorts on the 12 volts I've just said, and we'll give us a go and see what it actually does. It's quite possible that graphics card not sitting in it is actually the only thing wrong with this, if there was anything wrong with it. So let's get the test meter there. Yeah, let's have a quick look on the 12 volts. See what we have right here. So I'll move my arm out of the way once I get into the lead into the socket. Yeah. So actually that's 12 volts. So there's no short on 12 volts. That's okay. These will be ground, obviously, the other ones. Yeah. So that's okay. So let's get the light bulb, and let's connect it up through the light bulb and make sure it doesn't go bang. If it doesn't, let's power it up and see what it does. So this is my light bulb current limiter. If you've watched the other ones of my videos, you will have seen it before. So we have a 100 watt and a 60 watt bulb, and if we switch this to limit, the power going into the computer is going via the light bulbs. So if this is short, the light bulbs will just light up. If there isn't a short, they should flash once and go off, and then I'll take the limiter off and try to boot the computer up. If they continually flash, this power supply will have what's called PFC. I've done videos about this before, and we need to switch the limiter off to get it to work. So let's just put some power on here now and let's see what happens. I expect it to flash once and go down, or in this case not even flash at all. That's fair enough. Switch it to live. It might not power up. It may be this power supply actually isn't going to power on at all because I didn't get a flash on the light bulb. But I'll put it to live and let's see what it does. Well, it does power up. Something's stuck in the fan. Do we get any bleeps out of it? Yeah, it's bleeping like to say there's no RAM. Yeah. So what we'll do with this one, I think I'll strip it down, because if I'm going to sell this, I'll just be selling the motherboard processor, maybe the graphics card. I find that that's the way to get money out of these rather than try to sell them as complete units. So let's take it apart and let's see what we've got in this one. Okay, so I've got all the parts out of it. We have a rather dirty looking DVD reader writer. So these are of no value really. The SATA ones aren't. This is an IDE one, so it might have a little bit of value, but we can have a look. Normally with these it's the beige or the creamy coloured ones, DVD writers, yeah, because there weren't many made. By the time they came out they were mostly black. Yeah. A little SATA hard drive, 320 gig, nothing of any great interest. It might work. And this is our motherboard. So it's got onboard graphics, and it came with a graphic card. The graphic card There's one of these kind of generic looking things, CGAX45321, sorry, 43521. Probably some sort of GeForce graphics card. That 512 meg. It's got a little tick in the 512 meg, but no recognisable numbers on it as such. Probably like GeForce 5200 or something like that. I don't know. We can try it. Anyway, it's got the little thing missing anyway here, like you see for the VGA. Only the other ones on there. Oh, that is interesting. This is the wrong bracket. This is the wrong bracket. Can you see behind here? There's actually it's got HDMI. Take this thing off it. So it's got DVI and HDMI. I still reckon it's like a GeForce FX something or other. As a guess. Look at that. So it's had the wrong bracket on. That's the next thing we can say. Yeah. I doubt it's of any value to make it even worth finding a bracket, but we've got it. So. Next thing we can say, this is obviously quite dirty, so I'm just going to give this a good clean around this area, and then let's just see if it actually will power up and stop bleeping. It might just be dust in the memory slots as well, so we'll take that out. This is DDR2, DDR2 800. Okay, well we've got some spare ones, so let's just give this a bit of a cleaning now. Let's see if it wants to come on and not beep. Okay, so I've given that a clean over. So let's basically just start with the board. We'll get the stick of RAM back in it, and let's see what it does now. So we'll use the onboard video. Yeah, it has onboard VGA on here, so we'll use that. And we'll also use our known good power supply as well, yeah? And let's see if we can get any life out of this now, other than the bleeping life. So we're ready to go. Got a known good ASUS power supply. We'll just put the power lead into that. I've fitted the analyzer card, and you can see on the camera now. You can see the post analyzers here, so we'll be able to see what it's doing. We've got power on at the mains. Yeah, power, you can't see, but it's powered up on there. So this is the RAM it came with. This I'm now on the onboard video, and let's have a look to see what it does. Yeah, it's bleeping to say no RAM. Yeah, interesting though. This is still on 0. You expect that to go to like 51 or something. So let's take the RAM out. Let's try it again. Okay, same effect. Let's try the RAM in the other slot. See if it likes that. No, it makes no difference. The DRAM LED isn't lit up on this though. Let's go try some known working RAM. Just give me one moment, I'll get some DDR2. Okay, here's a couple of sticks of DDR2, yeah, 2 gig, 2 gig. Let's try these. Let's just try one first on a single channel, see what it wants to do. Power supply on. Well, it's not bleeping anymore, but it's not booting either. Interesting. No bleeps but no boots. Take one back out again. Well. Sorry, turn the other power switch off. Okay, so it's bleeping with no RAM. It's bleeping with the RAM that came with it, but it's not bleeping with my RAM. Ah, now it's making a continuous bip noise. It's doing something different. Let's try the other one. Now it bleeps with that RAM, but it does something different with my RAM. I'm going to have to try a few different RAMs in this. Let's see if we can make some sense out of it. Yeah, I've stuck a couple of sticks of RAM in here. And what I notice now, it's still saying 0 on here, but I get a single bleep out of it, one bleep, yeah, and I actually get a picture on the screen as well. Yeah, so I've actually got into the BIOS now. Post errors occur, blah 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 blah. I'm in the BIOS. Interesting that the post analyzer card doesn't give us any codes on this board. Let's try it in a different slot. No, we get no postcards off this board, even though it's now booted and giving us that BIOS screen, or rather complaining about the BIOS not being correct. Yeah. Does this give anything in the PCIe? Normally they don't. No, that's interesting. So we found a board that now boots into the BIOS with 2 sticks of RAM, but it doesn't give us any postcodes. Yeah, if it doesn't work there, I don't expect it will work here either. No, no codes. No codes, no beeps, no picture now. I think let's have some dirty contacts in it, you know, somewhere. There's no TPM header, yeah, that I can see where else this can go. So, for whatever reason, this board isn't giving us any codes, which is kind of interesting because it does boot. So, let's get a keyboard and mouse. Let's just reseat these again, yeah. And in fact, no, before we get a keyboard and mouse, let's just have a quick look under the heatsink and see where the, you know, we've got a heatsink compound and what state it's in, yeah. Okay, so I've unclipped the heatsink. Look at the mess under here, doesn't surprise me. And there's practically no paste on here at all. What paste is on here is completely dried up. We can see we have a Pentium dual core, yeah. So this is like the original dual core before the Core 2s, I believe, came out. So let's clean all this mess up and let's get a bit of heatsink compound on it. Okay, so I've cleaned all the dust and dirt off. This is just some generic cheap thermal compound I use just for testing boards, yeah. I'm not trying to overclock these things, right? I'm not pushing them. So a bit of that on there, and what I normally do is just balance this heatsink on top of the CPU. Because these legs on here are not long enough to touch the board. I'm not sure exactly what this came off, but I can rest that on top of the CPU, yeah. It's stuck down well with the thermal compound. It can't short anything on the board because the legs are not long enough, and we can just connect that up now so we can easily test this board, yeah. So we'll connect that on there. We'll get a keyboard and mouse, and we'll try sticking the original hard drive on and see what it does. Okay, actually I've just balanced this onto a cardboard box, so it makes it easier if we want to fit the graphics card and test that as well. Before we do go into the try boot onto the hard drive, let's just have a quick look, see if the CMOS battery is any good. And it's not, it's completely flat. It's reading 0. So let's change that, yeah. Let's get another CMOS battery. Okay, so I've got a replacement CMOS battery. Let's just check the voltage now. Should be good. Yeah, 3.3, yeah. Whenever I find a completely flat CMOS battery, I always have a check to see what current is being drawn when the thing's not powered on, yeah. This should be a couple of microamps upwards, certainly no more than say 8 microamps, something like that. So positive to the battery, I'm on microamps range, negative the little clip and push the clip backwards, yeah. See, that's quite high. 17 microamps, that's quite high. I don't know whether that's just on this board, but although it's not like stupidly high, that is unusually high, I think, for a CMOS battery draw. Okay, well, let's see what it does anyway. So we'll power on, we'll get the little switch, we'll boot it up, yeah, and let's see if we get into the BIOS. Yeah. Now let's put the camera onto the screen for you. Yeah, okay. I'm into the BIOS. We can load BIOS defaults. Yeah, just go for the optimized defaults. Yeah, just load that. We can save that, and then I'm sure it's going to say there's no boot device, and we'll stick the hard drive on this, and we'll see what it actually does. Yeah. So it's just bleeped. Yeah, and then it's going to tell us there's no boot device because there isn't. Yeah, you know. Let's stick the hard drive on and see what it does now. So I have the hard drive ready now. We can just power it up and we can start it again. And let's see what happens. I can feel the hard drive spinning. That's detected the hard drive. Is it going to boot? I mean, I don't know, you'd expect the hard drive to be wiped, but in my experience that is not as often the case as you might expect. Windows 10. That's the 2 out of 2 machines that had hard drives with stuff on it, yeah. I mean, I format them. I mean, it might be worth looking to see if they're full of bitcoins or porn or anything else like that, but nah, let's just format them. It's other people's stuff, yeah. Okay, so it's going to boot into Windows. It's also take a bit of time because it's obviously it's not a SSD and it's Windows 10 and it's Pentium dual core. Okay, so I tried to load Windows 10 off the hard drive and it kind of got stuck into kind of a loop or something. It wouldn't load, so I used my test rig hard drive, which has Windows 10 on an own good installation, and that's not wanting to work either. What it's actually saying, if we can see here, it starts to load up, then says it's getting devices ready, and then it comes up with this screen. What I've also noticed, and we'll just switch it off and then restart it again, that as the BIOS boots up, it's telling me this is only running in single channel memory mode. Yeah, you'll see it in the moment as it comes up here. So on the screen, let me show you what it's saying. Yeah, memory runs at single channel. You probably can't see that because of reflection on the screen. Let me just show you again. Yeah, so this is telling me there's a problem with this board. Here we go. Let's see if you see it this time. Yeah, memory runs at single channel. Yeah, so it's not picking up both sticks of RAM. I've tried reseating them a couple of times, and it's not making a difference. Yeah, so I've tried kind of like repeatedly removing and reseating the memory. I'm pretty confident these are both good memory modules. I've disconnected the hard drive now as well. Let's see if we can clear this. If not, I'll try a couple more memory sticks, and if that doesn't work, then we'll try something else. Yeah, so here we go. What's it going to tell us? Memory runs at single channel. Yeah, so it's not picking up both of these. Be interesting to see if we can tell which one it is picking up. I mean, it looks a bit dusty in here, but it doesn't look too bad, you know. Just a paintbrush, yeah, just try and brush the dust out of it, yeah. Let's see if we can work out which one is actually working. Okay, let's try that. Okay. Oh no, that bleep, yeah, okay. Yeah, obviously memory runs at single channel because there's only one stick in there. Now let's try the same stick in the other slot. Yeah. See what that does. Yeah, that's beeping as if to say no memory. Now let's try the other stick, yeah. If this works in one and not the other again, then we know there's a problem with the second memory channel, yeah. So let's give this a go, see what it does. One bleep, yeah, so this is the other memory stick. So we know they're both good, yeah. Memory runs at a single channel. Put it into the other channel. Right, yeah, bleeping like there's no memory. Okay, so the problem we have with this board is only one channel of the memory is working, yeah, and it seems like the bottom slot isn't working. I'm not sure whether they'll be marked or whether it would make any sense to us even if they were marked, yeah. Normal cause for this is it could be bent pins in the CPU socket, yeah. It could be a problem with this memory control hub thing, the north bridge, yeah. Could just be dirt in the slots. So let's have a look to see if there's any problem in the socket. I mean, it could be the CPU, but I doubt that. And anyway, we've got other CPUs we can try. Let's get some focus. Let's zoom this right in, yeah. Let's have a look to see what we have. Okay. Sorry, I felt a bit seasick then. So this is the CPU socket. And it all looks good, yeah. There's no bent pins. They'd be very obvious if there are. There's no missing pins. Okay, so what I would do with this board and anything with this sort of problem basically is to take this motherboard and go and put it in the sink, yeah, with some soap or hand wash, some hand wash and water, yeah, and then give the thing a good clean. So that's what we're going to do with it. I don't know if you noticed, by the way, I was using the graphics card that came with it then, yeah. Okay, so it looks like we've basically got possibly dust or dirt into the slots, yeah. You often find this with boards that were very dirty. So as I say, basically it's soap and water on this. Unfortunately I can't remove this bracket on this. Sometimes you can just unscrew this metal work, yeah, but this looks like one that you can't, so that'll have to stay on. So I'm going to clean all this up. Soap, water, get it very wet, yeah, and then we're going to let it dry out overnight. So I'll be back in a few minutes with a very wet motherboard. So here's our motherboard, dripping wet, yeah. So what I normally do with this now, the first thing is to take it in my hands and very vigorously shake it, yeah. Can I get this into camera shot so you can see how I'm doing this? Like, yeah, I think so. Okay, ready. So it's just a matter of very vigorously, yeah, shake it. And the idea of this is going to get most of the excess water off the board, yeah. And I do it from the different angles, yeah. Just clipping the process of the socket back down, get all the way up, the more vigorously the better, really. Yeah. So that'll shake a lot of the excess water off the board. It's still wet. So now I'm going to put this in the van. I'm going out on site, and it's I don't know, in sort of mid-30s at the moment, I guess, the temperature in the afternoon. So I'm going to put this in the van. I've got an on-site job to do, so while I'm out of the van, just get this over to shot a bit. There you go. While I'm out of the van with the window shut, I'm expecting the van and the temperature inside to get over 40 centigrade. And then I'm going to take this fan, I'll take it home with me because I'm going home after this. And then I'm going to rest the board upwards on one side and have the fan blowing at it. And every few hours I'll just rotate it around. I'll give it a good few hours then with the fan blowing on it. So by tomorrow morning, this should be thoroughly dried, and then when it's dry, we'll have another go. Let's put the memory back in the processor, and let's see if washing it basically washed away all the sins. Yeah, will it work? We'll find out soon. Hi guys, it's a new day, different shirt. Yeah, so I left this in the van overnight basically, and just let it get warm. Because the van was warm, yeah, it's all dried out nicely. So this morning I put the RAM back in, processor, CMOS battery, and I connected it back up. And what I have, as I can show you, is if we just get onto the screen, yeah. Let's just start it up. Okay. Slightly dodgy switch over there. Right, start it up. And it's booting. And it's still saying memory runs at single channel, yeah. So I actually tried that first thing this morning before I just started recording for the day. So I thought, okay, I'll try another processor. I know the CPU socket's okay. I mean, I doubt it's a faulty processor, but I guess all these things are within the realms of possibility. Yeah. So this is a different processor, and it's still doing the same thing. So now we need to see if we can determine what the problem is with this. Normally, this would be caused by bent pins in the CPU socket. Yeah, which we had a look, and they all seem to be okay. Another possibility is obviously faulty RAM. But we tried this yesterday. You saw I take one stick and it works in one slot and not the other. And then I tried the other stick, and again it works in one slot, not the other. So the problem on this slot, it's not the RAM. Yeah, could be the north bridge. So one idea would be to push down. I mean, this is effectively the memory controller, if you like. It sits between the CPU and the RAM. So we could just try. In fact, we will before I disconnect all this. We'll try pushing down on that and see if that makes any difference. I have seen it, and you give it a good push and you power it up, and it actually works. Yeah. So I'll just fingers on here, give it some pressure. I'm just going to power it on, and I can tell you now that it still says memory runs at single channel. Yeah, it doesn't make any difference. So, I mean, it could be a problem with this chip. The socket looks good, don't think it's that. Another possibility is a RAM slot, yeah. I mean, we've pretty much eliminated a lot of things now. So, it could be a problem with the RAM slot. And I don't think you see that. I'm looking down here now, I think I can see something in this slot, you know, something metal over here. Let's see if that's on the maximum zoom. I might be able to zoom a bit more. Otherwise, we'll use the microscope, yeah. Okay, so I've zoomed it down now. This is the slot that's got the problems. And can you see down here something in the slot? I think that's a bent pin. I have to get the microscope. I have to clear a bit of space on the desk so I can get it under the microscope. But I think we might have a bent pin in there, this RAM slot. And that I'm sure would be enough to cause the slot not to work. So let's get us under the microscope and let's see what we actually have here. Okay, so let's have a closer look at this, yeah, and let's see what we've got. And I think there you can see it. So that is, to me, without doubt, a bent pin, yeah, in the socket. Question is, can we do anything about it? Well, I suppose where there's a will, there's a way. We can zoom in a little bit and have a look. Yeah, so that's bent flat, I would say. I'm guessing the first best is to get something, something small and get down in there and see if we can get it straight again. Yeah. Let's have a look. What can we use? Something small. That's probably too big. This end's going to be bigger. Yeah. Okay, let's have a go. We can see what I can see down here. Do you know, I think this is kind of like somehow that's the bottom end of the thing and it's kind of gone under, and this bit up should be up here. So rather strange what's happened to this. It looks like this bit here should be kind of like going straight down into the board, yeah, and it isn't somehow. This almost looks like a manufacturing fault. I can't see how you could kind of like do this, yeah, by sticking the RAM in. But then you can assume this worked, it was working. So I'm pushed back on these. They're stringy. This thing's like not. Unless this kind of like should move upwards and that should move inwards. Let me have a poke around at that and see if I can do anything with it. 1 moment or 5 or 20. Yeah, I can't get that thing to bend. And also, actually, there's another one here anyway. We have 2 bent pins in this, and I haven't even poked anything down here. So I think this is turning into one of these like interesting projects. Yeah. Can we get this in place, or can we replace the socket? That's kind of pushed in there, but there's no real chance to get down there. Let's see if it's just a little bit narrower. Okay, well this certainly isn't easy, or wasn't easy. Yeah, so I used this little hook here and I basically got it underneath the thing and tried to lift it upwards, and you can see that now they're not flat anymore, and I've got some metal in there, but they're completely bent. You see in the top here there's like supposed to be like a clip that pushes back when you press on one of these. Yeah, you see it pushes inwards. Yeah, and this doesn't. Well, it sort of does if you can sort of see down there, but it's not totally good. Yeah, there's a bit of pressure on. That's a good one. This is my bent one here. Yeah, and you see the thing inside is bent. And let's just go to the other one, which is missing here. Yeah, and again I've got like a bit of a contact in there. It kind of pushes inwards, but doesn't work properly. Let me do this looking down the microscope. I can probably, when I can see better myself, I can probably show you better. So, first one, yeah. is here now, and I can kind of push in on that thing. I think that's when if I try and shove a dim in there, that's just going to go flat again, you know. I think the thing is sticking out enough that it'll just flatten it again, yeah. It's almost like kind of broke. It's obviously badly bent in here, yeah. So that's kind of the best I can do with it. Will it work? I don't know. It's like I wouldn't say yes and I wouldn't say no. It's like, would it work? Let's have a look. Go on, let's have a look and see if that actually does work now. Well, I guess there's only one way to find out, really, and that's to I put the dims in. Yeah, you can see they're in there. Let's get onto the screen and let's just see if we still have this message coming from the BIOS. What's it going to tell us now? Well, it still bleeps, so it still boots. Oh, memory runs at dual channel. That's that looks promising. Yeah, that looks promising. So we now have two dims. Thing is, will it boot Windows? Guess we'll just have to try that as well and see what happens. Yeah. Well, it's looking promising. Having said that, it tried to load before, then got into kind of a loopy air, and it's going to take some time, being you know, a 775 with Windows 10. So let's just give it some more seconds and see if it actually ends up on the Windows desktop. Yeah. Well, actually, this is behaving like it was before. So effectively, I get this in the screen. Yeah, this mouse. I mean, I can move the mouse pointer around, but it's basically just got like a kind of a weight thing on it on the black screen, and it seems to sit there for a number of minutes. So it's possible the original hard drive is corrupted. So I'll try another one. I'll try my good one. Okay, guys. So I ended up installing Windows 10. It wouldn't boot off the other drive. You can see we've got 4 gig of RAM, dual channel DDR2. Yeah. I've noticed with this, it only picks up this ATI Microsoft Basic Display Adapter. Yeah. It doesn't detect the graphics card properly. The graphics card is actually a Radeon HD 4350. I looked up the little code number on the side and had a look to see what it was. If we look to see on the internet, you'll see that that particular graphics card is not compatible with Windows 10. So basically it's saying, we'll go on the net and we can have a look. Yeah. So it's telling us here, yeah, that Windows 10 will install the basic display driver. This is what it's done, yeah. It mentions it above here, saying if your graphics adapter on one of these lists above, then you can use it with Windows 10, yeah, down to the 5000 series, and from the 4000 series and older, they don't support Windows 10. If I use the onboard graphics without the Radeon 4350 fitted, it works fine. Yeah, it picks it up and works as you expect. So that's fixed. I mean, there's nothing I can do about the graphics card. There's nothing wrong with the graphics card either. It's just not compatible with this operating system, basically. So there we have it. One more repaired machine. This came from the car boot. No, sorry, from the junk shop. Along with the retro Pentium 4 478 I had yesterday. We figured we were going to make about €40 profit out of yesterday's little setup. I think this I might just be lucky to get the money back, but you know, it was an interesting video for the channel. Yeah. Let's have a quick look just to be certain. Let's see if there's any profit to be had out of this. Yeah. So let's go on to eBay. Yeah, eBay code UK. Let's have a quick look. So it's a Gigabyte GA G31M. So it's a GA G31M dash ZT ES2L. ES2L. Okay. Search. So you can see it's what I paid for it. Yeah, I paid €20, £20, €20. So there's no profit to be made out of this one, but I'll get my €20 back. And it was an interesting thing to make a video on the channel, so I'm quite happy with that, to be quite honest. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that one, and I'll see you very, very soon on another repair. See you now. Ciao.